Oh. Saira. Just to, I guess, recollect, I missed some good discussions last week. We can just discuss some of the points, and I think we can continue. Uh, Swami is starting. Swami spent a lot of time on idol worship, I think, last week. First, he talked about how we transcend from Deha identification, body identification. Swami says death will cease. When we give up the identification with the Jiva, our sorrow will cease. And then we end up in, as a merge, we merge with the jnana. I think that's where it started. After that, Swami spoke about idol worship, having a form and name. I think there was a lot of discussion. I think Sister Anandi had asked, when did Swami write this? Swami started Bharatiya Paramartha Vahini with that name in 1977. Every month, Swami used to write one article in every single Sanatana every month. So over 16 months, Swami wrote under the name of Bharatiya Paramartha Vahini. Then Swami said, I will change his name to Sathya Sai Vahini and continue. Swami wrote another 25 articles in Sanatana Sarthi. So in overall, Swami wrote about 41 articles from what I can remember. Over 41 months. So it's a very long one of the longest Vahinis. And Swami gave his own name. And that's significance of this Vahini. And I think there was a discussion about whether, idol, was there a criticism at that point in time? As I think Sai Satish had mentioned, there has always been attacks on Sanatana Dharma from time immemorial, more than 1,000 years. Even when it was flourishing, there were people questioning it, whether idol worship was worth it. So I think that's why Swami spent a lot of time, and I think he's still continuing to discuss the same topic. Why did Swami spend a lot of time? I think Swami has emphasized, just because Swami says go beyond the form, you don't give up the form. You don't give up the name. I think there was enough discussion about various devotees. I think it's very valid, even the Sathya Sai organization. In the name of giving up form, people were thinking that we should give up the form of Swami also. So I don't want to dwell on it too much. But I think everyone should understand where it belongs and what's the importance. I think that's why Swami is talking a lot. And I think there was one sentence where I think there was a lot of discussion, which is the upiri and premimpa jalavu. So that's the thing. I think because Swami is talking about idol worship, Swami is making this statement in the context of that only. Because even before that statement, Swami is talking about idol worship. After that, also Swami is talking about idol worship. So what Swami is telling me, based on my understanding, Premimba Jal means you cannot love. That's the meaning. Very, very simple. It's not that you cannot live. You cannot, without breath, you cannot live. In the same way, you cannot love God. That's all Swami is saying. That means without having a form, you cannot love God. You cannot learn to love God. It's as essential for loving God, for the purpose of loving God. Premimba is the word Swami has given. If you want to love anything, anyone, you have to have a form. Without a form, without concretizing something, you cannot love. You can't love something, some some concept which is beyond imagination. So you have to have a form, you have to have a name, and then you have to love. And I think that's the way I understand. Without that, you cannot love. So because Swami is talking in that context, he says, without breathing, you can't live. In the same way, you cannot love. My view is that he's referring to idol worship. Then he goes on to say, look here, unless you are a child, unless you are a youth, you cannot become an older person. Because these are essential stages of, again, Swami is talking about idol worship. And so he said people who have already benefited should not discredit or condemn it, though they have benefited from it. For example, there are many people who have gone to Parthi, Prashant and Nilayam, sat there, got Swami's blessings and all. Now they will say, don't go anywhere. You can find Prashant and Nilayam everywhere. You know, there are people talking like that. So that means they have benefited and they are parading themselves as people who have benefited. But then they are depriving others of the same benefit of going to Prashant Nilayam, offering themselves, offering their. There are people who are doing it. It's very, very. So as you can see, Swami has foreseen such things happening in. See, after all, Sathya Sai Vahini is not for others. It is for all of us who are following Swami. So Swami knows that these are pitfalls people will fall into. That is why he has spent a lot of time talking about it. People who have not studied it, who have not studied and read what Swami has said, will start all these weird ideas and who will talk, if though they have benefited, they don't want others to benefit, any future generations to benefit. So they say we'll cut off from Prashantanadi. It's a few people have done it. Swami has already spoken about this here. If they have benefited, they should allow that benefit to come to others also, who are also growing from a young age in the path of spirituality, is my understanding. I will stop here. So we'll continue. I think Ani auntie was raising a hand. Sorry, auntie, please go ahead.
The ఊపిరి పీల్వక మనం ఎట్లు జీవింపజాలమో అటులనే దైవాన్ని ప్రేమింపజాలము. That's what you said, ప్రేమింపజాలము. We cannot
love God
in the same way.
We cannot love God. That's all Swami is saying.
Yeah, that's what we said.
So without, what is the question? Upiri pilavaka, what is the equivalent? I would say it is having the faith in a form.
Idol worship.
Yes. Because even for a child, if we want to teach a concept of what is a cat, what's a dog, you have to show a cat. But after you show the child understands the concept of cat. Whenever it sees a cat, it will say, oh, that's a cat. That's a cat. It doesn't need that cat. But to get the picture, understanding of that concept, it needs a cat.
Yeah.
If, for example, if I want to know what is sweet, if I have tasted sweet once, I can taste sweet anywhere. But if without tasting the sweet, you can say you should not taste sweet, you should not taste sweet, means then that person will not understand the concept of sweet, or even will not even develop liking for sweet.
Okay.
I think so. That's the way. So Swami says, "Premim Jaivani premimba jala." You cannot love God without what? Without idol, without a form. And
next sentence is జీవితంలో అది ఒక ఆవశ్యక దశ అని అంగీకరించవలెను. That's also one stage.
So that is the essential stage in your life that has to be recognized or acknowledged.
So he is talking about idol worship. That's
it. Yes. Okay. So I thought.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. So, Swami wants us to understand, just because we have grown adult, we cannot deprive the children of, oh, you can't play, we would have played nicely, we will tell the children, don't play.
Sai Ram, is that the one we are now discussing is the previous slide? Am I right, please?
Yeah,
this is a recollection of last.
Yes, that's the thing. Why don't y'all play that? Just show that slide, please.
You want to play, sister?
Yeah, the one.
Okay. Sorry. I was just as a recollection and summary, because I did not attend the study circle, unfortunately. So I thought I will share my thoughts. I will spend some time reading and listening to the full discussion. Thank you.
Yes, that's
and
the one.
put it on some form.
Yes, this is the one we will.
We will find it impossible to love God.
This is an essential as breathing for sheer living.
Join the study, sir.
This is a necessary stage of the process. So Swami is still continuing, and then he is talking about young age, old age, you
Yeah.
pass through that stage. Again, Swami is talking about that stage, Dasha, childhood is a stage. It's the father, you can't become an adult if not for a child.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so very nice. Because Swami is stressing on the importance. See, the fact that Swami had to take avatar itself is to be able to give people some Manush Deva, Manush Rupena. That's also another quote very famous quote in the Sanatana Dharma, that God is only through human form. We can only experience God only through human form. It's another point. I thought I'll just.
Okay.
Anuchitamu. If Swami says, if you condemn it, it is anuchitam.
Not appropriate.
Yes. Uchita is appropriate and anuchitam is opposite of it. Okay, we'll continue, sisters. Saira.
The Bharatiya march toward the supreme reality is not from untruth to truth. It is from truth to truth, from incomplete truth to complete truth, from partial truth to full truth. For what are sadhanas? Every effort made by men, from the remote forest dwellers and the unsophisticated tribals who adore the gross forms of divinity, to those highly evolved seekers who adore the full and the absolute, is a sadhana. Each such effort will take man a step forward in progress. Each individual jivi is comparable to a bird. It can, by longer and higher flights, rise up into the sky, and a stage may finally be gained when it can fly right up to the full splendored orb of the sun.
Thank you, Kalyani. So Swami is talking about the growth in the path of spirituality by the analogy of a bird. So I will stop here. Anyone would like to discuss any of the points? Please go.
Sairam.
Yes, Auntie, yes, please go.
Actually, when Swami is saying here, untruth to, it's not untruth to truth. It is from truth to truth. Satyam nundi satyam naku.
Yes.
Yeah, chapters.
Did you read the Telugu or should
No,
we?
not yet.
Okay, then why don't we just read the Telugu and then discuss, Auntie?
Okay. Yeah. Bharatiya Paramatma Rangamuna పురోగమించినది అసత్యము నుండి సత్యమునకు కాదు.
So in the Bharatiya tradition, the journey is not from untruth to truth. Sari, Auntie.
The next sentence, from truth to truth.
From truth to truth.
అసమగ్ర సత్యము నుండి సమగ్ర సత్యమునకు.
Incomplete truth to complete truth. Sari, Auntie. Samagra is a good.
Samagra is total.
Total, okay. Total.
Asamagra means incomplete.
Incomplete, yes.
It's not full. అడవి జాతుల వారు చేయు లేక అనాగరికులు చేయు క్షుద్రముగు ఆరాధనలు. So
people who are forest dwellers and people who are not civilized, the type of worship they perform.
ఆరాధనలు మొదలు అత్యున్నత భావ సమగ్రముగు అఖండారాధన వరకు.
This beginning from that to the final supreme type of worship, which is expansive and without encompassing everything.
Undivided. Indivisible. That's what.
Akhanda, yes.
Akhanda. పరిపూర్ణ తత్వమును అందుకొని దానిని అనుభూతి నొనర్చుకొనుటకై.
It is for gaining the experience of that completeness by taking in completely, something like that. That's the
Anubhuti
purpose.
nonarchukonotaku is understanding. I think that's word.
Okay, okay.
నొనర్చుకొనుటకై జీవులు వనర్చు వివిధ ప్రయత్నములే సాధములు.
They make various efforts. Those are the sadhanas.
ఈ విషయము ప్రతిదీ కొంత పురోగమించి
This subject,
this journey, we can take it as this journey.
This journey, okay.
Yeah, this journey.
What is the next sentence?
ప్రతిదీ కొంత పురోగమించి.
Pratidi konta purogaminchi.
పురోగమించి, advances.
Okay. Pratidi means, is it step by step?
ప్రతిదీ, every effort.
Oh,
ప్రతి effort.
Pratidi. Oh, I see. Pratidi konta purogami. Okay.
ఈ విషయము ప్రతిదీ కొంత పురోగమించి.
So step by step or slowly, they make small efforts, or they grow in the journey, is it?
Purogaminchi means it is yeah. Just now you said that word. What is it? Purogaminchi.
Contribution?
No, not contribution. Sorry. Purogaminchi is to understand. No, not understand. It is starting with
Yes, okay.
Purogama.
Incremental?
Incremental, maybe incremental.
What one?
Incremental, auntie.
Okay.
But I will just...
Please see that. Purogaminchi. Purogamam.
So, Mundi nadachina.
ముందు నడిచేది పురోగమం.
Yes.
And it advances. That's what I got.
Yeah. So step by step, progressing, incremental steps. Basically every bit of sadhana helps for it to progress forward, step by step, or slowly.
ఒక దిశను చేరను.
It'll reach a certain stage.
ప్రతి జీవుడు ఒక చిన్న పక్షి వంటి వాడే.
Every living being is like a small bird.
అది పైకి ఎగిసి.
It will try to jump or rise up slow, jump up.
Jumps up and up.
Up and up.
క్రమాధికము చేకూర్చుకొనును.
It will step by step, it will go up.
అధికము means it gets
incremental. Brother Prasad?
Yeah.
Yes.
చేకూర్చుకొనును.
It will attain that, step by step growth.
చివరకు
at the end,
పరిపూర్ణ తేజో వైభవముతో,
at the complete effulgence, which is shining with such effulgence,
దీప్తించుచుండును.
It'll shine, is it? It'll shine with full effulgence.
సూర్య బింబము వరకు ఎగురవచ్చును.
It can even reach the perimeters of the sun itself.
నానత్వములోని ఏకత్వమే ప్రతి ఒక్క మూల సూత్రం.
I think they have not
done it. Okay.
They have not written it. So I will stop. So basically Swami is saying, like a bird which flies higher and higher, step by step, with little bit of effort, sadhaka also will fly up and up. At the end, who is like a small bird, can reach the sun itself, the splendorous sun, and they themselves will also shine effulgently with full splendor.
Before we go further, I want to ask you this. Swami is saying, from truth to truth, from incomplete truth to complete truth, from partial truth to full truth. So that I think these sentences.
Okay, we should discuss.
Discussed.
I think that's a good. There's someone actually who has given a nice talk. I don't know whether you all know him. Is from California. But anyway, I will get on his name.
Okay.
So actually, Swami told him about this personally. I think he written a book also on that. So basically, generally, asatoma sadgamaya. That is the prayer. Swami says, where is asat? There's no asat. But in that asat, there is sat.
Yep.
The Sat is covered by the Ajnana. Our ignorance of the truth, from that we go to Sat. That's why Swami says that we are actually going from truth to truth, but only thing is, it is our Ajnana which removes. So ideally we are travel from truth to truth. We don't even realize that we are in truth. But from that ignorance of the truth to truth we are traveling. That's why Swami says. That's why the world also is called Sadasat.
Mm.
The world is actually nothing but Sadasat. There is Asat as well as Sat. It's a mixture of both, which is Mithya. So only from this Mithya we are going to Satya. So Swami, that's the way Swami had explained to him. So when you are truth yourself, from how can you go from untruth? Because there is no untruth in this world. You know, that's something like that. Yes, brother.
And also, I was just thinking in Telugu when she was talking, he said for tribals, Swami was referring to Shudra Puja.
Shudra.
Shudra Puja. I think any sort of puja is well. Don't discard them. Every puja in from different cultures is contributing towards the faith. So they have some faith in that, they're following it. So that means the concept of faith needs to be taken from there.
Yes.
So though people there is nothing like people who say God, there is no God. They don't know God. People say don't believe in God to believing in God. Maybe that's untruth to truth. Instead of calling it as no God to God, they don't know about God. It's not that they know God. They just realize it after discussing of maybe learning from other people, I guess. Maybe that's where we need to correlate truth as unknown.
Yes.
And one more thing what I want to say is it from Vyavaharika Satya to absolute Paramarthika Satya? Is it the Swami was, of course, what you said is ignorance of the truth is making us travel from untruth to truth. So it is Vyavaharika Satya, that is the worldly transactions which are taking place now. It is mithya, it is total mithya. From there we have to travel up to the Paramarthika Satya. So does it mean the way?
Yes, I think Swami, in another discourse, Swami says the worldly science is like a half circle. It's okay. Spirituality makes it full.
Full circle.
Okay. So the half circle is also the truth. Even physical, advancement of, various natural laws which people have studied, and we are making use of it in the worldly sense, which is Vyavaharika, Swami says that is also truth, but that is not complete.
Yes, correct.
The complete truth is spirituality completes the circles. So then you'll have full knowledge. That's, that kind of. So we are right, Auntie. Vyavaharika Satyam is that
Incomplete truth.
Incomplete truth.
Transactional.
Yes. Which is useful for worldly existence.
Worldly for
Yes.
we
Yes.
use. Thank you.
Brother, did Swami ever explain about the atheist? I think atheist means those who believe God doesn't exist, or those who don't know about godly thing. Atheist definition from Swami. We use atheist is like those who doesn't believe in God. We call it them as atheist concept, just colloquially. But is it really the right definition?
See, I think Swami has spoken, but I think atheist is an English word, but Swami has used astika, nastika. Those are the words which Swami has used. Nastika are generally people who do not have faith in the Vedas. The absoluteness of Vedas. So that means they are not relying on Vedas for learning the science. They are learning somewhere else. So that they are the Nastikas. They also believe in some form of truth, but their truth is restricted to only what they can observe in the world, which they take as truth. So that's what Auntie was telling, Vyavaharika Satyam. They also go in the quest of truth, but they do not rely on the Vedas. So I think they are called Nastikas. I think that's Auntie Saril. Auntie can.
Yes, those who don't believe in the Vedas, existence of the Vedas, neither. So those people are called Nastikas. Nastikas who believe not only in Vedas and any form of worship, they have faith.
Iram, it's a very good discussion. So if this is the case, there is always, it's the traveling from or moving from truth to truth, but it could be in a different degree or something. So is it right to say that Ashanti to Shanti or Prashanti? Because if the same concept we apply, similar to what untruth to truth, it's like a truth to truth, then my question is it correct to say that Shanti to Shanti or Ashanti to Prashanti? Because there is that also, maybe Shanti, it's already in us. Maybe the Shanti could be incomplete, or maybe it's I just want to get something from that, maybe similar to this one. Maybe we always think that we are in the trouble stage, we don't have peace in us, we are lacking of peace. So is it correct to think like that, or maybe something wrong in it? We are already have the peace in ourselves, but we don't realize that peace. Maybe some sort of discussion or either shedding light on that one. Thank you.
Sairam, Sudha, thank you. I think I will open it up for anyone else who would like to share what they think. Is there? Yes, Brother Dasan, please go ahead.
Yes, Sairam, brother. The reality is not from untruth to truth, because the Bharatiyas, so most of the people, they have different kind of the prayers, that idol worship, and even including the idol worship, they worship even snake, tree, sand, air, anything. So some people can criticize what it is people, why they are praying this kind of thing, everything. We don't do this kind of thing, they criticize. So the Bharatiyas, they understand that each non-movable, movable is the main Athara is Atma. Oneness is there. That's whatever they feel like to pray, they pray, and they will move on to the next end. So we cannot say whatever they are believing is an untruth. They know there's a truth is there. For other people, I may be untruth. Thank you, brother. Sairam.
Sairam, thank you very much. Anyway, Sister Anandi's question is there. Are we in partial Shanti, and then are we going towards full Shanti? I think that's the question.
Yeah.
Anyone who would like to comment on that?
I think so, because if you take another analogy where truth, God exists, I think and it's like a partial knowledge to put. I think it may be right. Shanti to Ashanti to Shanti, because everybody has by birth have this value, but little bit of deviation made them not believing they're also God, all those things. So from that concept, I think we can correlate it on Shanti to Shanti, something like that.
Thank you, brother. Anyone else would like to? Okay, just asking about Shanti. It's coincidental or not, our center's discourse has a padyam, so I will just recite, maybe we can discuss. Shanti antarinche, satyamu karuvayye, manase karanambu, madini eppudu,
Yeah.
bharatiya veerasudara.
This week's Sai.
Yes. Shanti antarinche, satyamu karuvayye, manase karanambu, madini eppudu, vinudu bharatiya veerasudara. And I think that'll become our padyam for the next week also, hopefully. But so Swami is saying, if at all that that the Santi has died and truth is lost, or it's almost diminishing completely. It is all in the mind. Manase karanam gun madini eppudu. So only in our mind it has happened. Okay. Vinudu bharatiye virasutada. So that means our mind is telling it is gone. Why the mind is incapable? Because Atman is the Shanti, place where the Shanti is Atman. Why the mind has forgotten it? Just because the mind has forgotten means the Shanti has not vanished, because we are, Atman is us. Only thing the mind has forgotten that we are Atman. No, it's deluding us from that thought. So yes, Shanti is present. But in our mind, the Shanti is suddenly, sometimes it disappears. Or it tells us, oh, it's gone. Okay, so that's nice Padyam. See, Swami has already
Satyamu kuda disappeared. Satyam,
Karuvaiye.
it has become lacking.
Diminished, melted away or something like that,
Karu ante come back. Income, no, that is called what is
Yes, diminished or something, reduced. Scarce.
scarce is the word. Yeah.
Also, Swami said, I think everybody, by default, we're all happy. Happy means when there is happy, there is Shanti is there.
So
Just
that
create
means
ourselves.
Yeah.
That means that all because of our mindset. If we think that we have full shanti, then we have the full shanti. If we think that we don't have shanti, then we are ashanti, and maybe maybe we need to do the cleansing the mind, or maybe we may need to develop the positive mind, or various the words, maybe in the worldly perspective or the spiritual perspective. These days they are using that, and I also just reminded me that cleansing the mind, that yesterday's hour in the big study circle, or big from Prashanti, the whole 3.5 hours, they focused on the cleansing the mind. That is the culprit for all the things. Maybe that makes really makes sense. Maybe for whatever we think that we lack, we don't have peace, we don't have happiness, we don't have whatever we need. All these things, maybe it's because of our mindset.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, brother. It's clear to me right now.
Yes, Auntie Sakku.
Sai Ram.
Saira.
This peace, Shanti, is within us. It is obstructed by the senses and the mind. Sadhanas, the discipline, spiritual sadhanas, step by step, it will slowly, it will make the mind and the senses to calm down, and eventually you will realize that everything is the will of God. When you think everything that is happening in your life is the will of God, because you have left yourself completely to Him, and everything that comes, good or bad, everything is His will. And when you think like that, when you practice like that, eventually you will develop a kind of a calmness within you. So that's how the step-by-step Bharatiya's march towards the supreme reality. It is the spiritual discipline that will make us control our mind and our senses. Thank you.
Saira Mati, thank you very much. I think Sister Aruna, you had raised your hand and then.
Yeah. Unmute.
Sai Ram, brother, And now we are with the first sentence, so I thought to wait until you move on with the second one, because I was trying to understand that.
So we'll go to the second one, sisters.
Okay. So now every effort made by men from the remote forest dwellers, what is that? And who adore the gross form of divinity, to those who highly evolve, they will adore the full and absolute.
Yeah.
It's a sadhana. So where that difference comes, one who adores the gross form of a divinity, to those who highly evolved seekers, they will adore the full and absolute. Is that the way Swami says? Is that some?
Yes, Swami's using the word Kshudra, that means which is an unrefined form of God also is worshipped by people of primitive, nature. They are from forest dwellers who are not so civilized, They may use some primitive forms of worship. That is also sadhana. And starting from that, going up to this absolute, state, which, great heights of spirituality many people have attained, where they see the entire world as, without any break, akhanda, the entire universe as God. To that extent, everything which comes in between is sadhana.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. Yes.
Even
So,
here, sorry.
yeah. No, Auntie, go ahead. I got there now, understanding. I was thinking, where's this gross form? Then highly evolved people, okay, they will start with something very basic way of worship, and they move on to understand the Brahma is everywhere, Brahman. So that is called the full and absolute when they reach to that level of sadhana. Okay, thank you.
But start first, everything is sadhana, Swami say.
Yeah.
From the lowest to the highest, it's all sadhana.
No, what I wanted to say was that
Yes,
here in Canada, First Nations people, they worship all kinds of gross forms. So also even in India, those who are in a remote place, where this civilization has not yet touched them, there they also worship all kinds of gross forms with whatever ritual they follow it. So right from that kind of worship up to these people who worship the Paramatma, the absolute form, Brahman. So everything is a sadhana. Swami is trying to say that. Sai Ram.
Anyone else would like to?
Thank you, Auntie.
So that's why Swami is equating that to a small bird trying to, jump a little and then fly, and then it flies, it can fly higher and higher.
Yeah.
In a way, Swami is trying to say, I think, don't restrict yourself with some limitation of some form. Any form of faith is open. So as Brother Dasan said, I think some people may pray stone, dog, cat, everything, but don't discard just because they're doing unnatural thingy for us, but it's natural and good for them. So they're doing their own sadhana in that format, and some other people may doing some other format. So that's why I was trying to say Kshudra is very low, very low grade. Conceptually, he's using that word also. I think those kind of.
Thank you very much. When Swami mentioned this story about the bird, I was reminded of it's a story or a book, actually. It's a book called Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Okay, because there was one professor who spoke about it when I was a student in Parthi. How this little bird which wanted to fly the highest, a seagull, and that entire stories about that seagull which wanted to rise high and high. And he was telling that this is the way you also should strive higher and higher in the path of spirituality. So I was reminded of that. A very inspirational story. It's an allegory. which was taught to us when I was a student at Parthi. Somebody raised hand and then
What is the story? You didn't
it's
tell
called
this.
Jonathan
Yes.
Livingston
No, Jonathan Livingston
Seagull.
Seagull.
Seagull. It's a seagull.
Okay.
It's the name
So
of a
why
seagull.
don't you tell us with like a briefly about the
No,
story?
no, I will not, sister. It is not part of this. But if anyone is interested, you can go. Sorry. It's basically, I've already
So
told you.
everyone is okay with that?
No, it's a seagull which wanted to fly high. That was its goal of its life. Everyone else laughed at it, but it said, no, I want to fly high. So it's part of spirituality is also like that. People around may laugh. You may have so many setbacks you may have, but you should not give up the desire to rise to the highest state of spirituality. So that is, I think that is good enough summary
for summary.
of the story.
But one thing Swami said, every step will keep you move forward, right? That's the only thing. So you don't compare with others, but from your own perspective, you will know you are moving forward.
Yeah. There's another story which Swami has told, maybe that I will share. It's a
Okay,
story told by
please.
Swami.
Mm.
Swami says there was a little bird. Okay. It was trying to build a small nest. Okay. So when it built the nest, the nest was just, it was by the side of an ocean. So ocean, what it did, no, each time this built the nest, the ocean waves were coming and washing it away. So this little bird was very, very upset. So then it told the ocean, I am going to empty you. So what it started doing, apparently, every day it will go to the ocean, take a mouthful of it, and fly a little far and spit it out in the ground somewhere. So it said, I'm going to slowly do this and completely empty you because you are being a big trouble for me. Swami says. So, but this, it was doing, and then it realized that it is not so efficient. So then it's tried to find out any bird with whom there's some influence. And apparently it somehow became friend with Garuda. Once it became friend of Garuda, and it complained to Garuda, this is my lot, I'm trying to empty this ocean. So Garuda said, don't worry, I will sort the matter. So Garuda approached the ocean lord and told, hereafter don't touch the bird's cage. So Swami was telling how a little bird with that kind of determination, even a little bird can achieve great heights with the help of someone like Garuda. So even as a little bird, you should not give up. You should have the same tenacity of that bird in solving the problem. So this is a story Swami has told, so I thought I would share. Little bird.
See, determination provided a way for her to achieve, I guess.
Yes, yes.
Why in the first sentence, Swami is specifically saying in the Bharatiya tradition? I mean, the journey, no matter which tradition Swami, it sounds like it's the same, right? It's not from untruth to truth, but wherever people are, it is from truth to truth. Or is it just that the Bharatiyas are the ones who perceive it that way? Or other
Very
people
good
might.
question.
Yeah.
Swami says, Bharatiyalu ఈ సూత్రములు no, it's
భారతీయ పరమాత్మ రంగమున పురోగమించినది అసత్యము నుండి సత్యమునకు కాదు.
So Bharatiya Paramartha Rangamuna. Okay, I think we'll talk about the Paramartha. I think there was a question from Anandi. See, Swami is starting with the word, actually the first sentence is Paramartha. Artha is multiple meanings are given, but Artha is also means goal. The supreme goal of the Bharatiyas is realizing the Atma. Because the word Artha has multiple meanings. One is meaning itself. The second one is wealth. The third one is it is also goal, like Purusha Artha. Purusha Artha means the four goals of human life, towards which we seek, the goals which we seek, the goals which we yearn for. So Bharatiya Paramartha Rangamana, in the stage or in the field of Bharatiya goals, okay, in the stage of Bharatiya goals, you can say, Purogaminchunadi Asatyamanandi. So that the journey is from not from Asatya to Satya, from Satya to Satya itself. So only those who believe in the. So then the question is, who is a Bharatiya? Okay, so that also in the discourse today there was a definition. So I will tell. Swami is saying just because a person is born in the Bharata Desha, they are not Bharatiyas. One who is not who is born in the Bharata Desha does not become a Bharatiya, but the mother is Bharatiya culture. Bharatiya culture. And the father is the Bharatiya Desha, Bharata Desha. So anyone who understands this and who with that understanding and with that affinity leads a life, such a person is Bharatiya.
Yeah.
So the means one who believes in the culture of Bharat. Okay. And so Samskriti, Bharatiya Samskriti, that's what Swami says. One who believes in the Bharatiya Samskriti and one who believes the Bharata Desha is its father, treating both these, how a person lives, any such person is a Bharatiya. So that's what Swami has said. So Kalyani's question, now Kalyani's question. Yes, Auntie, please go ahead.
No, any person who, as you said, he may be living in some other country, but he believes in Bharatiya Sanskriti. So he is a Bharatiya, not those who are exactly living in Bharat.
Yes. And they should also think the Bharata Desha is also my father.
That father.
So they should not cut off from that also. So because the culture cannot survive without the Desha. See, the Bharata culture is only prevalent and nurtured and nourished in the Bharata Desha. So we should understand that Bharata Desha is only supporting that Bharatiya culture. So both should not be given up by anyone who is a Bharatiya. That's the way I understand. Again, you can listen to the discourse. It's an avatar discourse which Swami gave.
Yeah, last Thursday, I think.
Last Thursday.
Day before yesterday.
Yes. Okay,
for Bharatiya Sanskriti, can we say those who believe in Vedas?
Of course.
And to make it easy to understand.
We are reading the Bharatiya Paramatma Vahini. Swami says they believe in the Vedas as the ultimate. There are three things Swami has mentioned, if you remember. It's a revision. I don't have any, someone can say.
Shabda Pramana.
Yes.
And what is it? Next was Anubhuti of the elders. And the other one is?
The first one is Shrutis.
Shruti.
Second one is Shastras.
Shruti, Shastras and experiences of those elders.
So these three Bharatiyas will believe in. So they believe in the Vedas, they believe in the Shastras, which are expounded by people who have experienced, and they also believe in the experience of the people. I think Nata.
Yatishwaras.
Thank you, Kalyan. I think it's good to review, otherwise we forget. Swami started nicely. He has given us all the basic truths of what is a Bharatiya is. And again, he's mentioning it here. So I thought. So those who believe in that, they believe that everything is, all forms of worship is sadhana. I think that's my understanding. And they are the ones who think they are not traveling from untruth to truth. They are only traveling from truth to truth. Because Vedas say everything is Sat. Everything is Atman. But their understanding is incomplete. Even though they believe that everything is Atman, the understanding is incomplete. From that, they are moving to a complete understanding, is the way I think. That's it. Bharatiya Paramartha Rangamuna. Rangam means stage in Sulam.
Stage. It's a forum or a stage.
So, anyone else? Putramaga. Then otherwise, why don't we move on to the next slide, if it's okay? We like the small bird, we will fly a little next slide.
The basic truth of nature is the one in the many. That is the key to its understanding. The Bharatiyas grasped this truth. They held fast to this key. People of other countries were content to lay down certain axioms and enforce belief in them. They insisted on the acceptance of these axioms and the observance of rules and regulations that arise out of them. They held one single coat before the individuals of the society where they lived and required everyone to wear that same coat. If it did not suit the size of anyone, there was no alternative coat for such people. They had to live without a coat to protect them against the chill wind.
This energy is so okay.
So I think it's pretty, custom tailoring versus,
Yeah,
ready-made clothes.
tailoring to the needs of the society people. Okay, shall I read?
Yes, Auntie, yes.
నానాత్వములోని ఏకత్వమే ప్రకృతి యొక్క మూల సూత్రము.
From manifoldness, one means from diversity, unity is the original source principle.
మూల సూత్రము.
The roots principle, you can say.
From multiplicity is
From multiplicity to unity.
In unity. భారతీయులు ఈ సూత్రములను గ్రహించిరి.
The Bharatiyas have understood this principle. This thread connects everything.
Yeah, సూత్రములు. ఇతర దేశీయులు కొన్ని సిద్ధాంతములను ఏర్పరిచి,
people from other lands, they have come up with a few principles, philosophical books.
వాటిని అంగీకరించి
They accept only those,
అనుసరింపుడని,
they follow them,
తమ తమ సంఘములను బలాత్కరింప చూచును.
in their associations, they were enforcing them.
Yeah, అనుసరింపుడని, they
ask, forcing the people to follow this.
Follow this. మానవ సమాజములందు వారు ఒక్క చొక్కాని ఉంచి ఇదే ప్రతివానికి సరిపోయి తీరవలనేను అందరు.
In the society of human beings, they're just showing one dress, one shirt, you can say, or one blouse, or whatever you want to call it, and they're saying only this has to be worn by everyone.
తమకది పట్టలేదని వారికి వేరొక చొక్కాను ఇవ్వరు.
If people say this doesn't fit me, they will not give any other shirt or any other shirt or blouse.
కడకు చొక్కా లేక ఉండుటే వారి గతి.
They have to live without any dress.
భారతీయుల సిద్ధాంతములు అట్లు కాక,
the philosophy of the Bharatiyas is not like that.
ఆయా భావములకు తగినట్లు.
Have you read this?
No, not it.
Then we'll be without clothes for some time, man.
ఆయా భావములకు తగినట్లు.
Yeah, Auntie, they have not read in English.
Yeah, it did not suit the size of it. They
had to live without coat.
That's it. Yeah. This coat business like analogy. Swami calls it chokka. Chokka in even Tamil we say chokkai. Chokka pottuko. So chokka means some.
In Indian Tamil, Auntie, not Sri Lankan Tamil.
Ilya. Okay.
Chokka means they will say chocolate or something like that.
Oh, okay. Chokka in Tamil. We use the word
I know in India, Tamil, they also use. Chokka means shirt or blouse.
Oh, yeah, some dress.
So you have to be without it because they only give one type, fits all. That's, but whereas Bharatiyas, Swami has not spoke about it. Bharatiyas understood this multiplicity in even terms of worship, whereas others were very institutionalized form of religions where, you know, one thing is enforced on everyone else. So, Auntie Saku.
No, you explained. Thank you.
See, Swami is trying to contrast. It's not that the other religions have they don't have truth. They have, but they have only one form, one understanding, and they force everyone. Balatkaram, you know, Swami says they enforce.
It's
Balatkaram means, you know, with a lot of, I think everyone understands the word Balatkaram. Possibly enforce, coerce everyone to do the same thing. Even our organization, that kind of tendency sometimes comes, you know, coercion. The Swami's thing is allow everyone to worship as long as there's love. They are not harming anyone. They have devotion. Just let them worship, and I will take care. You know, I think that's a Sanatana Dharma version, or Bharatiya philosophy. I think that's what Swami is saying. I'll stop here.
I see. This is kind of an extension to what we were discussing before. I think any form of faith is okay. Just don't restrict yourself to one and think others is not right or wrong, whatever it is. That's why.
I think if everyone's okay, then we'll go to the next slide.
Yeah.
Yes, Auntie Saku, you want to raise?
Multiple ways means all different religion praying, also praying to different idols, Baba will accept, right? Is it that what it says? Multiple ways, whatever way you pray, Baba will accept.
I think Swami has already covered, Auntie, because he's telling Kshudra means even, you know, gross forms of worship by people who are not maybe literate, they are forest dwellers, not so civilized. Even that is worship. That kind of acceptance is there in the Sanatana Dharma. They are not told, you know, you don't know, you are worshipping, you are a pagan believer, you know, all that kind of discussion is done. They are also equally considered to be great devotees in the Sanatana Dharma tradition or in the Bharatiya tradition.
this sentence, Nanatwamuloni Ekatvame Prakruti Yokka Moola Sutramu. Prakruti Yokka Moola Sutramu.
The nature's the root principle in the creation itself is unity in multiplicity.
Yeah. Just to recognize that only Brahman exists everywhere, in everything, in all the religions, in all the faiths.
But it does not accept if anyone, it does not accept anyone saying only mine is right and only valid. That it does not accept. And there's no room for such thought in the Bharatiya thought.
That's the difference.
Okay. Maybe, okay, Kalyani, will move on.
The Bharatiya approach was quite different. For each aspect or variation of feeling and thinking, volition and action, they made available a distinct name and form, and provided modes of worship and ways of adoration in accordance with the emotional needs and intellectual caliber of the aspirants and devotees. Of course, a few had no need for such special consideration and treatment, but many took advantage of this concession and advanced in their march towards freedom and liberation.
Wisdom.
Sorry about that.
I know you have the freedom to say freedom. Sorry. Okay, Auntie, we'll read the Telugu.
Okay. భారతీయుల సిద్ధాంతములు అట్లు కాక
The philosophy of the Bharatiyas is unlike that.
ఆయా భావములకు తగినట్లు ఆయా రూపనామములను ఏర్పరిచి
according to each one's feeling and such each different types of forms have been made according to their tendency and feelings.
భక్తుల భావరూపమునకు అనుగుణ్యముగా
For the bhava of the feelings of the devotee and the form, for that anugunyamuga means it's
According.
commensurate with that.
తగందపడి according to their
According to each of them.
according to their belief
Accordingly.
ఆరాధించుకొనుటకు అవకాశములను ఏర్పరిచినవి.
They provided options for people to worship in that way.
ఇట్టి ఆధారములు కొందరికి అవసరము లేకపోయినను
Such support for some people was not necessary.
అనేకులు ఇట్టి ఆధారమును ఎన్నుకొన్నది.
Many made use of this support.
ఇంతకు విగ్రహారాధన చేసి తీరవ that time she has not done.
No, we have not started.
Yeah, okay.
I think one of the topics which came, I think is being addressed by Swami there. It's the next paragraph. So Swami is saying, you know, that flexibility for devotees was acceptable in the Bharatiya tradition. And people made use of this and have benefited. Though many didn't need it, but people, you know, that flexibility I think was useful for many, depending on their own feelings. So anyone can make any form which they like and worship as long as there's love between that form and them. I think that's what I understand. So I will stop here. Anyone would like to?
Brother Sairam, can you think of any example like that? One form that where people have created based on that? Every form, I think it's created in a way is like that. But I'm just thinking.
Can you consider rituals as an example here, brother? But rituals may be tedious and not everybody can follow. So it's very difficult for me to pronounce or follow. I'll just do my own way of praying. Can we give that as an example here?
Yeah, I think so, brother. I think so. You know, I think, see, Swami is saying, my understanding is that Swami is saying, from infancy and childhood only people learn and grow. So Swami is, I think, also acknowledging the fact that they are also starting at some level, but that effort should be encouraged and should be considered valid, even if they don't know. But sometimes people are complacent, you know, they don't want to grow. They want to just do the same thing and think that they are worshipping, which is not necessarily what Swami is adhering to here. I think Swami is adhering to someone who is sincerely worships, and also I think has the need. The people should also have the feeling that they want to grow, that they have to grow, and I think that should also be there, is my understanding. But I will stop here. I think someone raised, I think Brother Rasan had raised his hand, but
Yeah, yes, Sairam, brother. For an example, I can say the idol worship. Even if you take Kannappa Nayanar, most of the people know, then he offered even meat, and he got the blessing from the Lord. In some people, they got the liberations, the meditation. Some people got the different kind of spiritual sadhanas, even service. So many people are liberated. So everything with whatever you said, brother, with the love and with love, whenever you do any sadhanas, you will get the wisdom and the liberation. Thank you.
They made available distinct name and form, provided modes of worship and way of adoration. That is here, Swami, I think he is mentioning about the name and form.
Yes.
When he is talking about idol worship, he is definitely talking about name and form. Krishna, Rama, Govinda, Devi.
Yes, Auntie. So name and the form, we can talk about Prahlad then. So it's one name, and that, you know, Narayana, he got the the wisdom and the blessing.
According to the feelings of the devotees, తగినట్లు ఆయా రూప నామములను ఏర్పరిచి, they provided with a name and form, and భక్తుల భావ రూపమునకు అనుగుణ్యముగా ఆరాధించుకొనుటకు అవకాశములను ఏర్పరిచి. They provided the opportunities to worship in the way they, according to their understanding or according to their feeling.
I think bhava has been translated here as emotional needs.
Emotional needs and intellectual caliber.
Yes.
Can you think of on those bases anything, any name and form that's created?
Every form, sister, in the Hindu
Yes,
tradition is
yeah.
that one. Okay, so
Yes.
that's all. That's enough to say, because people have had a need, and hundreds and thousands of forms are there.
Oh, yes. So all those forms are born out of this emotional things only.
Yes.
That's the way we have to keep it, right? And every form they say, okay, this Gauri Viruddha, okay, this is for that kind of, that emotional thing. They started the Viruddha with the name of Gauri. So the Gauri name was given like that, right? Okay. Yeah. But intellectual caliber side, I couldn't see. Emotional side, I can see. Intellectual caliber side, do you see any name and form is created on that
I
perspective?
don't know. In Telugu,
In Telugu, it's not there.
Swami is not said. Sir.
Okay.
Okay, Swami has used the word bhava. Okay,
Bhava.
intellectual caliber is not used. Okay,
I feel it includes any form of Christ or emblem of Muslims or any other Zoroastrianists. Does it include this one or only
everything? And I think anywhere else, everywhere in the
any
world,
form you are telling?
all over the world, sister, wherever people are doing any worship, that's included.
Yeah, it includes everything.
So all the name form is created based on that only. Yes.
They are all valid.
Yeah.
In the journey and the growth of a devotee, they are all valid. Okay.
Because
they will not give you the ultimate, but they are all equally valid. As forms of sadhana, which takes one to a higher level. It's just like the little bird. One little bird may jump up and down. That is equally valid, like a bird which is flying near the sun. But you have to start somewhere. So that is also equally valid as a person who is trying to fly. Okay, that's also an equal step. I think that's the way Swami is giving different analogies just so that we understand. But then we cannot equate them. There's a bird which is flying, a bird which is flying in the sky near the sun. You cannot equate them, but the process is identical. They are growing from this only, it reaches that stage.
The nature is one and there's many.
The path, the journey is one.
Yeah.
But the stage of development is different. And I think that's the way I understand.
Paths are many. Paths are many. Goal is one.
In a similar concept, Swami in Sandeha Nivarani also spoke. He says a bud, a flower, an unripe fruit, a ripe fruit, they are all the same. They are all in the journey of becoming a ripened fruit.
Yeah.
So in that sense, they are at different stages. So the bud is also equally a fruit. A fruit in an early stage is a bud.
Yeah.
So that is also has to be valued. So in devotion, there are different stages of devotion which grows. That is also equally valid stage of development. That's the way I think Swami is. I think that's what Swami is also alluding to here, based on my understanding.
The last sentence wisdom and liberation. I don't find it in Telugu.
I understand. I think that freedom to add the sentence has been.
Freedom to worship, is it? ఇట్టి ఆధారములు కొందరికి అవసరము లేకపోయినను అనేకులు ఇట్టి ఆధారమని ఎన్నుకొనరు. They chose the path.
Yeah, that's all is there. After that, there's nothing else. So I think that's just explanation, translation by way of explanation, I think. No need. But to advance a march towards wisdom, and it is just an explanation of that, you know. That.
Yeah, correct.
Shall we read one more, or?
Yeah, we can, I think.
We can read. Kalyan.
Another 15 minutes.
Right.
For one thing, never was it laid down as part of the Bharatiya spiritual endeavor that idol worship is a must, or that it is a stage that has to be gone through. But there is one fact which each one must preserve in his memory. It is this: Bharatiyas may have attachment to their bodies. They may be attached to the upkeep and development of their standards of living, but they would never yearn to cut the throat of others. The Bharatiya who is fanatic about his religion would rather immolate himself in flames raised and fed by himself, rather than, through hatred, burn alive those who do not accept and revere his religion. Bharatiya spiritualism negated the destruction of the Atma, the one inextinguishable truth.
Okay.
Auntie.
ఇంతకు విగ్రహారాధన చేసియే తీరవలనని నిర్బంధముగా బోధించదు భారతీయ పరమార్థం.
But, you know, I think even though this is a reality, the Bharatiya Paramartham, the goal of the Bharatiyas, does not teach with force, compulsion, that you have to worship a form.
ఐడల్ వర్షిప్.
Idol worship.
విగ్రహారాధన. కానీ ఒక సంగతి మాత్రము ప్రతి ఒక్కరూ జ్ఞప్తి ఉంచుకొలవలెను.
But everyone has to keep one thing in their memory. Remember something.
ఏమన భారతీయులు సదేహ అభిమానములు కావచ్చును.
That means that Bharatiyas may have body attachment.
స్వజీవనోద్ధారకులు కావచ్చును.
They may want to earn a livelihood.
అల్ల స్వజీవన ఉద్ధార.
Oh, so they uplift their own self.
Uplift their own self.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. కానీ ఇతరులు గొంతు కోయ తలంపరు.
They will not cut the throat of others.
స్వమత భావోన్మత్తుడగు భారతీయుడు,
A person who is fanatic in his religion, a Bharatiya who is fanatic about his religion,
తన శరీరమును అగ్ని జ్వాలలకు అర్పించుకొని,
he will offer his body to the fires.
మరణించును గాని,
he will die, but
తమ మతమును అంగీకరింపమని,
but you know, he will not, that you have to accept my religion. Thus,
వారి సజీవ శరీరములను నిలువునా తగులబెట్టడు. He will not hang them.
Yeah,
తగలబెట్టడు.
He will not hang other people.
Yeah, if they don't agree with you. Yeah. సరే, నిలువుగా తగలబెట్టడు. ఆత్మహత్యలను నిరసించుట భారతీయ పరమార్థము.
I don't think we have gone there, Auntie. Yes.
Atma, destruction of Atma, she said. Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The destruction of Atma.
Atmahatyam also can be suicide. Atmahatyal nirasinchuta Bharatiya Paramartham. Suicide is actually condemned by Bharatiya, the goal of Bharatiyas. Nirasinchuta means, I think, condemn. Is that okay?
Reject.
Reject. Okay, reject. Sorry. Actually, I think Atmahati, they said negation of Atma. Negate the, actually,
Negated
it's suicide only Atmahati generally. So they basically rejected suicide. Even though they, I think that Swami is telling two things. One is they will offer themselves into the fire. At the same time, then Swami is also just saying that suicide is just because that, people should not start committing suicide, I think. So Swami has put this also. Bharatiya rejects suicide. I will stop here. Yes, Auntie Saku.
Sairam, those days when the husband dies, the wife jump into the same fire. What is that?
That was sati. It was called sati. It's a ritual which some of
What does it? What is it called?
sati.
Sati.
S-A-T-H-I. Sati.
Sati Sahagamanam.
Sahagaman
Going with the other person.
with the other husband.
So,
Off
The
life.
husband. She will.
so Sati is someone who is called a Pativrata, who is a wife. Okay, who for actual Sati also means one who is in the path of truth also. Okay, and so what they do is when the husband passes away and his body is given to the fire, they think their body also should be consumed by fire, but they go do it with the understanding that they are Atman and their journey continues. But this body needs to be given up. So that is a certain faith system. If you look at the Pandavas, when Madri, Madri, who is Pandu's second wife, she did this basically, Sati Sagama. Basically, she also decided to immolate herself in the same pyre in which Pandu's body was burnt. But Kunti remained, so it is each person's conviction and what they feel they would like to do. It was voluntary, but I think what became a problem was in some cases people enforced, and that became a problem. Not very prevalent though, but of course, people who want to make Sanatana Dharma look bad made it a big issue, as if it's a very prevalent practice. It is not so.
Yeah. It is Rajaram Mohan Rai who came, who
made it unnecessarily.
Yeah, who brought about a law. He brought the government to bring about a law saying that not do.
Yeah.
Sati was the name given to that ritual which they used to do.
Yeah, so because there were many families, sometimes they think it's a burden to look after a woman, so might as well.
Oh, that's unfair.
It's prevalent was in North India mostly.
But that practice of forcing somebody is not sati. Sati is only a person voluntarily choosing to do so. It was an acceptable practice in some, it's again belief of each person. They don't want to be left behind by the husband. They would rather.
No, we don't want to do that.
No one do. No, it's against law. Now it is against law.
Against law or not, we don't want to do that anymore.
But the last sentence, I think when Swami explained Bharati, I think if some reason, if the other person doesn't believe in my concept, my philosophy, I may give away my life, putting myself in the fire, but I would not dare to do any harm to the other person.
Yes.
I mean, he said killing the throat, all those things. Here, I was thinking, destruction of the Atma. Atma means he see same Atma in other person. So instead of harming the other person, I will end up my life so that I don't need to be in this situation anymore, because I don't have any solution in my own to handle this situation when others are not following me. But I may end up giving my life to just get out of this situation, but I will not harm you. Like Atmahatya is coming from the concept of Atma, I guess, not suicide. Suicide is in current context where I take my own life is called as Atmahatya. But in this context, Atmahatya means he see the Atma, same Atma in other person. So I don't believe in killing that person, because again, it's affect me only. That's what the Bharatiya concept was, I guess.
Not only killing others, killing himself also.
Yep. But in this case, he Swami was saying, I may end up put myself and put Bharatiya, the person, gentleman may put
He
in
says,
fire, right? The giving away the body, I'm giving away my body because I don't have any answer to the other person. So I'm just getting out of my situation, basically. My Atma is still there. I'm just giving away my body because I don't know how to handle the situation.
So the sentence goes, sister, brother, Atma Hatyalanu Nirasinchuta Bharatiya Paramarthamu. That's a sentence. Atma
Before
Hatyalanu.
that, he was saying that he may end up putting himself in the fire, right?
See, the thing is, Atma Hatya means Atma cannot. Bharatiya knows Atma is ever indestructible. Okay.
Yep.
So that's the only reason I said it's a suicide, because people generally refer to suicide also as Atma Hatya.
Yep.
Bharatiya knows that Atma is always it is
eternal.
the reason generally an Bharatiya will not give up his body is that he will say, I will make much progress, as much, if I can make good progress, let me make good progress. If not, I will change the body. So if you ask me, the only you can ask where is an example for this if people ask. Okay. The story itself is of the story of the Sati. So Daksha Prajapati, I don't know, maybe it's Daksha Prajapati, I don't know, everyone should know the story, I guess. Sati was the daughter of Daksha Prajapati. She was married to Lord Shiva. And Daksha Prajapati developed an enmity towards Shiva. So what happened was he conducted a yajna where Shiva was not invited. And because Shiva was not invited, he didn't invite his daughter also. And when the daughter found out, she went to the Yagasala and asked, then the Daksha Prajapati insulted his own daughter. So she said, I will give up my body. I don't want to live in the body as identified as a daughter of Daksha Prajapati. So actually, she's supposed to have, with her own yoga agni, she burned her body because she felt, in this body, I will always be tainted by the fact that I am your daughter. This body is yours, given by you. So I don't want this body also. Okay, so I will offer it to fire and I will take another form. And I think she was born as Parvati. That is the story. So that's an example of, she did not tell Daksha what he did was wrong. She said, I cannot change you, but I don't want to be tainted with this. So I will offer my body to flames because I don't want to be identified with this. So that's the only example I can think of where someone said, I cannot change the person's mind, so I will rather give up my body. I think that's a very classic example. So I thought I would just share.
Thank you.
Sairam. Sairam and Saku.
Yeah. The Sanatana Dharma condemns suicide. If people take suicide method and kill themselves, what will happen to the soul? Will it be...
it's a bit out of syllabus question, Auntie.
Huh?
It's a bit out of...
I'm asking because of the Sanatana Dharma, whether it will be going through punishment.
So I think I'll just simple, somebody is living in a house. They have not found another house, but they say, I am going to vacate this home. You vacate the home, take your luggage out, and then you have to, until you find another home, you have to be waiting somewhere. So that's the understanding. So each person who does this may do different things, but they are looking for a home. They don't have a home. That's my understanding of people who generally commit suicide. I hope that that's good enough.
Yeah,
There are
no, I was thinking when there are some punishments in the Sanatana Dharma.
It's like a
Sanatana
Sathya Sai
Dharma, by now you should have understood Sanatana Dharma does not punish.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
that God doesn't punish, but
Yeah.
you know, if we punish ourselves, then God comes to only help.
Yeah.
So it's we who cause the problem. Then God has to make God additional problem to solve. So I think that's my understanding. I'll stop there. Yes, sister.
Brother, just adding to the discussion only, not to this. See these sadi rituals, people make force that female to go. It doesn't, as you mentioned, if that person understanding that's Atma and want to give up the body and willingnessly doing it, that is something different. But at the same time, whoever is coming to that understanding supposed to have what is the spiritual progress on that, why she's doing it, like are they going to go together in future? You don't know the other side of it. So all those questions are at that time for anybody to question, because if you cannot live in the body and you cannot realize yourself, and then giving up the body also, then you lost your opportunity, right? So it's one time you got it, you don't know future, you don't think about the future, kind of, right? Present body, if you can make use of it to understand your reality, your aim, your where you're going, who you are, all kind of things, I think they should be considering. I think that there's not supposed to be any force. That kind of way only. Everyone has to make their own, with their own mindset, they have to make the decisions. Thank you, Sairam. I just thought of
Sairam, sister. Thank you.
Actually,
Sorry, brother, this is out of the topic anyway. I like to put my word to Sadi ritual thing. Even he doesn't want to listen to Lord Shiva. When you go there, you will get humiliated. So now it was humiliated. Now she doesn't have any option how she's going to face his husband too. And that is one of the other reason too. And here, and our religion, Sanatana Dharma, we never differentiate all other religion. We think everything is a path of a small river or anything. Everyone going to merge with the ocean. And even someone criticized that much, we never hurt them, because once we hurt and we lose our spiritual practice and everything, we try to be, honest, and we forgive them. That kind of practice we have. We never encourage to come and join our religion. Come and join our religion. So that's what Swami always say. If you are in religion, you be in your religion and practice whatever they taught. Thank you, Brother Saira.
Sairam, brother. Thank you very much. So it's 4:30.
Auntie want to say something, brother.
No. I just wanted to say that.
Okay, and please go ahead.
Actually, this life is given to us to exhaust all our karmas. We have to go finish it and then go. Otherwise, if we commit suicide, the body is gone. You have to search for the other body, and until then, we have to wait. That's how, we believe in Bhuta Pishacha. And, ghosts, they become ghosts, and so all this. They don't have a body, but they will be moving around like ghosts. That's how they believe.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Thank you. Yeah.
okay.
Thank you, Auntie. That's
Oh.
great.
Thank you very much, Auntie.
Sairam, Arun, we can close.
We can close. Thank you, Sairam. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, thank you.
Sai Ram.